So in this session, I'm going to look a little bit more at mixing. So I'm going to talk a bit about front of house and fallback mixing. We've already set up musicians. We've done basic preamp gain setting and done a bit of EQ on them. So now we're going to have a little look at how we just go about getting the right levels in the front of house speakers and in fallback speakers. Typically on a foldback we'd probably use the iPad, but for the purposes of this video I'm just going to carry on using the desk, and if I get a chance I'll use the iPad later. So the first thing to do is to make sure you've got LR selected. So if you're front of house, so I'll select that and the desk will reflect then the levels in the front of house. So as with desks we used before, the main channels here labelled, the faders here now controlling what you hear in the main speakers. So I can control those, I can mute them, I can change the levels up and down. So I can put those down here. If I bring the vocalist down, then they come down in the mix, and I bring them up. So I can adjust the guitar, the keys, bring my vocalist up a little bit and adjust those, and you'll hear that reflected in the front of house mix. So that shows me what's coming out of the main speakers. And then if I want to look at what's coming out in fallback, then down the right hand side of the desk we've got mix 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've labelled those left, centre, keys and drums to reflect our fallback. So what you do then is you select the one that you want to listen to in the mix. So let's go for number 1, the left side. So if I press that, then what happens is the fader's now showing me what's mixed into fallback 1. So for the left hand side for the vocalists. So if you look at that now, you can see you've got a bit of the vocal number 2 and 3. And a bit of guitar. So I can adjust that if I want to. I can listen to it on headphones by using PFL on the desk, or I can go up and do it with the iPad. But I can adjust that, change the amount of guitar, for instance, if they want a little guitar, so they want a little bit more of their own voices in there, I can do that on there. And the same for the second one, again, press number 2, that brings me to the second. And I've got the keys, so in keys I've just got mainly just keyboard, and the keys vocals, and then drum fallback. And then to get back to the main front of house, so remember to do that when you finish doing your fallback, you either press the LR button to select it, or you just press the one that's highlighted, so either will do that. If I press drums again, that'll take me back to the main front of house mix. And that now gives me back to the main mix, which is the bit I'll probably be concentrating on for the rest of the time. But at any point I can go back and pick one of those fallback mixes, select it, and get the faders set as I want to. The other thing that you can do, as well as an alternate way of doing that, is if you're on the main mix, so you have that selected first, and if say you want to change the keyboard in several of the fallbacks, then you can select the keyboard, so press the SEL button on that, and then there's a blue button on the left here that says CH to all mix. If I press and hold that, then while that's being held down, what it's actually showing me on the desk is the level of the keyboard in all of the mixes. So here I've got there's a bit in aux 3, which is the keyboard fallback, there's a tiny bit in 2, and there's a bit in the 4, which is the drum. So that allows me to change the levels of the keyboard only in any of those channels. So again, I can adjust that up or down a little bit for that, and then let go, and that brings you back to the main front of house mix. I could do that for guitar, say, press guitar, channel to all mix, look at the guitar levels, make some adjustments on that, and then come back to the main front of the house. That's a quick way if you want to adjust one instrument in several places at once. All of those things can also be done on the iPad, so if you've got the iPad available, then you can take that, you can walk down and do the same things I've just done on the desk using the iPad instead as an alternate way, which means you can also walk down to the musicians and listen to it direct. Of course, all of that you can do on headphones as well if you need to. Okay, so that covers the basic mixing for front of house and fallback.